You heard that right. Republicans are walking in lockstep with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. But President Biden, her staunchest ally, is not yet, as we know, on board with Pelosi's trip to Taiwan. President Biden talked to the Chinese strongman Xi Jinping this morning. Xi's regime is threatening a war, or at least perhaps military action, if Pelosi makes the visit. Chinese state media says, quote, "Those who play with fire will only get burnt." This was Xi to Mr. Biden. "We hope the United States continues the status quo. We hope the U.S. side can see this clearly." Congressman John Garamendi of the House Foreign Affairs Committee joins us now from just down Pennsylvania Avenue. This is the readout from the White House's side of the call on Taiwan. President Biden underscored that the United States policy has not changed. This is the White House writing. And that the United States strongly opposes unilateral efforts to change the status quo or undermine peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. What Mr. Biden said to the Chinese president. Should it have also included, and by the way, Nancy Pelosi is going to Taiwan?
Well, let's be very, very clear about this. Nobody should be telling the Speaker of the House of Representatives where to go and when to go. It's her decision, and she'll make that decision based upon what is best for America. And let's be clear, if the Speaker were to go, it would be a signal of American support for Taiwan, and that is not new. That goes back more than 60 years, well, almost 70 years now, that the United States has supported the Taiwanese making their own decision about what their future is and how they will relate to mainland China. So it's up to the Speaker. It's her decision. We'll see what she says. In the meantime, Xi Jinping can say what he wants to say, and the president can say what he wants to say, but we're separate. This is a separate branch of government, and the Speaker will make her own decision.
You know, that's a great point, in that the Chinese really don't understand American democracy if they speak like this. It sort of speaks to how they view the world and they view their form of government. And right to point out that the Speaker has a huge Taiwanese population in her district. This is something she's been talking about for 30 years. And she understands better than anybody the dynamics here. Here's one of your colleagues from across the aisle about this trip. Take a listen.
And here's the problem. Should she not go now, what message does that send to Japan, South Korea, Australia, and our other allies in the region that if we won't even visit because of a Chinese threat, what message does that send on our ability or willingness to, defend Taiwan?
Does he have a point?
I think he does. But also we need to take a look at recent history. The Speaker had a plan a couple of months back to go to Taiwan, and all this back and forth with Xi Jinping and the president wasn't even part of it at that time. Unfortunately, she contacted COVID, as did the president of Taiwan at exactly the same time. And so that trip was postponed. This is a continuation of an earlier effort by the Speaker to go to Taiwan. As I said a moment ago, she should make a decision based upon what is most important for America. And my own personal opinion is it is important for America to clearly state that we support the Taiwanese people in making their own decision about their future. Is it going to be the continuation of what has been the last 70, 80 years? Or are they going to somehow decide to join up with China? That's their decision, not ours. Our point right now for the Speaker is to stand firmly in what has been a longstanding American policy. We support Taiwan in making its own decision.
Yeah. Fair enough. Congressman, it's good to see you as always. I know you stepped out of votes for us, and we appreciate it, sir.
Yeah. Gee, I thought we might talk about recession.
How about next week? Are you available?
Yeah. Well, let's just keep in mind that we've had extraordinary economic growth in the Biden period. And yes, it has slowed down, but it hasn't gone totally negative. The definition of a recession is not particularly useful when we had such extraordinary growth coming out of a real recession, which was the COVID recession.
Yeah,
remarkably short because of Democratic leadership.
Congressman Garamendi of California, good to see you, sir. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.